I'm going to put on my gears after security check.
So hi everyone, this is Kolo Lee. I'm original from Taiwan. Now I'm on the plane back to Shanghai.
Kolo is one of the many people from Taiwan who live and work in China. And this video is about this mask she's wearing, symbol of Taiwan's rise in global politics because of the way it handled COVID-19. It's even reached the White House. Taiwan and mainland China are separated by just a 180-kilometer strait, close enough to be seen from the Chinese shores. In the pre-2020 world, they were doing trade, there were flights going back and forth carrying some of the over a million people from Taiwan who live and work on the mainland. It seems like a high alert situation. But if you actually see the list of infections worldwide, Taiwan's far, far towards the bottom. It's almost unbelievable. They've had no new domestic case since mid-April and only 7 fatalities. The question is, what works?
Mask.
Max.
So, throughout these 100 days, in my opinion, they're the three most important lessons Taiwan can provide to the world in handling COVID-19 are advanced decisiveness, scientific thinking, and an effective risk communication.
In January, we already know that there was something there in Wuhan. Although WHO or China, they deny a lot of things, but we were very sure that we need to elevate the travel notice to high level, especially towards China. Because every year we have 1 million population move there and here. We want to make sure that everybody understands that now China is very dangerous.
Taiwan's political status is very complicated and the answer changes depending on who you ask. For China, Taiwan is a province of one China, despite the fact that it's an independently governed democracy. Long story short, they're both trade partners with a unified history but are always at the verge of war with missiles pointed towards each other. Taiwan was actually the first nation to stop air travel from China and followed it up with the whole shebang of travelers' home quarantine, testing, and social distancing measures.
Every country has their own culture, system, and situation. For the instance of Taiwan, government prepare for such a long time. So the belief is that we need to minimize the inequality and close the gap for every citizen.
In the times of COVID-19, the great equalizer globally has been personal protective equipment, like this face mask.
So we are not allowed to buy masks or sell masks or send masks to abroad. This is actually good for us to keep the most masks for people who really need it in Taiwan. And we understand the reason behind. But at the moment, we just announced a new solution that we allowed to buy 9 masks in 2 weeks. You can queue in pharmacy, buy your ID card, or you can book reservation online.
Just by the end of January, Taiwan had stored 44 million surgical masks, 1.9 million N95 masks, and 1,100 negative pressure isolation rooms.
So our government worked with the local factories, providing help and increased mask production lines immediately and took control over the distribution of masks so that there is no scarcity of the mask. And most importantly, the price of masks remained stable as the past. And right now, Taiwan can produce more than 16 million masks per day. And so people wear masks all the time when they go out. We don't need to have very strict social distancing, and people in Taiwan can almost maintain the same lifestyle as we all used to have with very limited, very low community spread of COVID-19.
Earlier, Taiwan was an importer of medical masks, but just in the past few weeks, Taiwan has quadrupled its production and is now the second largest surgical mask producer in the world. As many countries stop exports of medical equipment in lieu of rising cases of COVID-19, Taiwan has now started exporting surgical masks and their coronavirus success by calling on countries around the world to study the Taiwan model of controlling outbreak, something they polished after SARS.
Last time when the SARS happened in the 2006, everyone was the first time to face this kind of disease and crisis. So we were kind of panicked at that moment. But this time we kind of learned a lot.
At the very beginning in January, when the mask production was still low, the government used a lot of media to educate people that we should leave the mask, the PPEs for healthcare providers first, so that they can take care of people in the hospital. But for now, masks and PPEs are never a problem for us healthcare providers.
The possibility of success is based on whether you prepare or not.
The country has been a first mover in tackling coronavirus epidemic diplomacy and returning life back to normal, starting with reopening of sports events.
Taiwan professional baseball started this season as scheduled, and I feel great about that.